So I've done very minimal studying on this particular topic, but I wanted to kind of give my unscientific analysis and theories behind why this is the case for this particular topic. So the topic is Adderall, stimulants, Vyvanse, coffee, um, just stimulants, right? Nicotine even. Um, so all of these things, there's a really bad connotation around. I think by a lot of people, not everybody. I mean, it is. Stimulants such as SSRIs have definitely saved some people's lives, if you would. So I'm not saying that there's a huge kind of bad connotation. Personally, I grew up with a bad rep around all types of medications, especially ones for your mental state. Um, but in recent years, and I wouldn't even say recent years because a lot of the times there are just studies, right, that we just didn't know about, and they're kind of getting popularized, and that's an amazing, beautiful thing. And a big part of it is because of social media, right? So I'm just gonna further the popularity of this particular topic because I care for people's well-beings and I want people to live as long and as happy of lives as they possibly can, right? So, and this is some information that I think is good for that, and that's my purpose in life, and that's what I use my social medias for. It's just to make people better, right? Make them happier and just help them out. That's because that's what we're supposed to do, right? Okay, so SSRI, stimulants, caffeine, nicotine, and various other stimulants. I don't know, there's probably a bunch of other ones, but we're just going to focus on caffeine, even nicotine, and SSRIs. Okay, so there has been some studies that it is linked to, of course, upping your heart rate, upping your cardiovascular rate, but it's also been linked to lowering depression, obviously, and also helping lower the chances of cancer occurring in the body. Right? This is like I don't really know that much about it, but apparently it has been linked to lowering rates of cancer, lowering rates of heart attack and stroke, which sounds a little bit funny, right? Because if it's lowering chances of heart attack and stroke, and even obesity, right? It's lowering those chances too. Then how is it like there's this bad stigma like, oh, it's gonna make your heart rate go nuts, right? Because like usually, oh, it's gonna cause accelerated heart rate. You're gonna think, oh my gosh, that's gonna make me have a heart attack, right? And that's what I initially thought with caffeine. But then I had this idea the other day when I was talking to my husband, and I was like, okay, so here's the thing. I have a theory that maybe someone that's out of shape, maybe they start taking Vyvanse or some type of stimulant, drink too much coffee, or maybe they get really startled or something really traumatic happens to them and their heart rate shoots up. Maybe they're doing some activities, right, and their heart rate just shoots up. If something like that happens, and then bam, heart attack, right? Right. I mean, that's how it works. And usually it's because of elevated heart rate, right? But here's the thing. If your heart is used to being elevated because you take a stimulant, maybe, or maybe you exercise, or you just do things on a regular basis that are going to get your heart rate up, right? Coffee, nicotine, uh, like I've already said, exercise, and other things, right? And if your heart rate is used to being at that level, it's going to be harder to give you a heart attack because your heart's like, oh, I'm used to this, right? Your blood flow is used to going faster and everything like that. So lower chances of stroke, right? Lower chances of heart rate. And if your heart rate's up like that, then it's also going to have some type of effect on your metabolism. And metabolism, like I've said in other videos, is not just about, how fast you burn your fat or how skinny you are. It's not about that. It's about every single system in your body, which is so cool. It's so freaking cool. Okay? So we've got that kind of situation going there. But then, and that makes sense to me, not even from a scientific point of view, just brain, right? And then we've got the how in the world could it possibly help prevent cancer? This one I'm really excited about. So here's my theory behind it. So when someone takes a stimulant, all stimulants are basically known for depleting your appetite. It's going to lower your appetite. What's the main cause of all these other issues that are going on is our diet. So if we're not eating as much because we're on some type of stimulant, whether it be caffeine, nicotine, SSRIs, or whatnot, right? Then our appetite's going to go down, and therefore we're not going to eat as much. And because today a lot of people are eating, I think it's over 45% of people are overweight or obese or something like that. Something high numbers, and that's not even true because we can't get the information. So it's either lower, a little bit lower, or I suspect it's much higher. Anyways, you're on this SSRI. You're not eating a lot, or you're drinking coffee, you're just not eating as much, you know, or you smoke, or you do nicotine Zen pouches, or whatever it is, right? You're just not eating as much. So therefore your body can actually focus on the other systems in your body. So it's not constantly focusing on eating. Do you know how much energy it takes for your body to digest food? It's like the number one energy drainer. Okay? And then, you know, it takes away from what's going on in your brain too. Not only is your body having to focus on digesting your food, it takes up so much energy for your body to digest food. I would also, I think there was something in there about it affecting Alzheimer's or something too. I don't know, I can't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if also stimulants are. Oh, I know coffee is linked to lower chances of Alzheimer's, right? And I think it's because you're allowing your actual body to actually focus on on the other systems. So there's other systems in your body. When you're eating all the time, your body's focused on that instead of something like cleaning up dead cells. So if you're eating all the time, you've got a lot of dead cells floating around in your body, and that causes disease, right? So as far as the cancer thing, I think I also heard something about it actually blocking stimulants, actually SSRIs specifically blocking the actual cancer forming cells. And I think this has a lot to do with autophagy, like when you fast. So like instead of doing an SSRI, you could do fasting. They all do the same thing. The thing is, we're in a world where on every single corner there is basically drugs. It's not food, it's addictive. You know, people aren't used to having, historically speaking, used to having this much access to food. So something like Ozempic, something like an SSRI, something like a good amount of coffee, or maybe lots of these combined together can actually help you stay in a state where your body can actually do and focus on the systems that it needs to keep you healthy, living longer, and feeling your best. I'm not a doctor. I'm not. But ever since I was like 12 or 13, I've been studying this stuff and I have a huge passion about it. And I learn and I soak it up, and I love to talk to people about it because a lot of people just don't think about it. And I love to share it. It's just, guys, this stuff is just revolutionary to your life. And that is all I'm about, is just sharing things that are going to help you become the best person that you can be. And doing it in a way that's like, oh my gosh, like, once you try this stuff, you're gonna see a huge difference. Like, it's actually going to change your life. And there are times when I don't do my best. I know I don't. But there are a lot of things that I've done to extend my life. And if something bad doesn't happen to me, like an accident, you can also be the healthiest. You can try to do your best and you can still get sick. But your chances of bouncing back from something like that, they're exponentially higher if you have this type of knowledge and you use it. You gotta use it. If you don't use it, then it's not useful. But I hope you guys love this. I love talking about it, and I want to talk about it more. So I'll see you next time. Peace out, baby.